Yeah, good. All right, so this is Sultai Elementals with a bit of a twist. So we can go infinite in this deck with Cavalier of Night and 1 to 2 mirror images. So mirror image, this says you have to sacrifice another creature. Yeah, so you need 2 of them. So with Cavalier of Night, you can mirror image it and then sacrifice a mirror image to the mirror that's entering as a Cavalier, and then that Cavalier can get itself back and come back into play and sacrifice another thing. So this loop destroys every creature your opponent has in play. And then if we have Poison Tip Archer out as well, while we're destroying every creature they have in play, every loop makes our opponent lose 1 life, which is kind of sweet. Lellum, thank you for the 13-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. One of the really important details about this combo is that for the most part, the rest of the cards in this combo are like pretty reasonable. Like just mirror imaging Cavaliers and mirror imaging Risen Reef is like a perfectly acceptable power level thing to be doing for the most part. And Poison Tip Archer is the closest thing to being unplayable in our deck. And even this being Reach and Death Touch is going to be relevant in a lot of matchups. You'll note all of our combo pieces are creatures as well. So we've got 3 copies of Incubation Incongruity down here at the bottom, which can add a lot of consistency to finding our way through our deck. So basically our goal is we're a mid-range value elemental deck that can also go infinite if we oops into our 4-card infinite combo. So it's actually only a 3-card infinite combo too. So like if you have this and 2 mirror images, you can destroy their entire board. But if you add in Poison Tip Archer, you also kill them with the health total as well. So I discussed the sideboard. Not really. The sideboard's just a bunch of like reasonable Sultai cards. It's not that far off of the board from Sultai Yarok, in all honesty. Let's go ahead and dive on into some matches here with this and see how it goes, shall we? You think your blue-white Flyers deck has what it takes to win / top 8 a major tournament? Yeah, I think that archetype's very reasonable. I think it's got Disruption combined with the clock. If you're interested in testing the blue-white Flyers archetype to play at a competitive tournament, in addition to the list that's currently posted on my website, I would also recommend trying the all-in Safara version that we played recently as well. I think there's a chance that the all-in Safara version might be more competitive than the one that's on my website, but I want to play another set with it first to confirm that. Yeah, I think I'm going to keep this other land here. Need more green sources at some point, and this land scries, so that's fine. Does this deck have infinite Risen Reef triggers to consider? I guess that's true. Did I update the one on my site to the all-in build? I didn't think I did. No, the one on my site and the one in my deck queue are different. Yeah, the blue-white skies deck in the deck queue is the one with Incubation and Incongruity. Yeah, they're different. Don't confuse me. The all-in one's on and the one in the deck queue. That's exciting. So let's start with this. Yikes. I guess if I keep this, I only need to draw a Cavalier to combo them. And like, if I draw a Risen Reef, having another mirror image is fine here. Nice, go see. I think scrying post-incubation tends to be better. Because if you scry pre-incubation, you're only fixing 1 draw. Whereas if you scry post-incubation, or you're fixing 1 of 5. Whereas if you scry post-incubation, you're fixing 1 of 1. Alright, let's witch figure this one. And I think I'm just hanging tight for now on these. Because if I draw Risen Reef, I definitely want a mirror image Risen Reef. It's like the opponent could be playing Sultai Yarok. Dusk Legion Zealot's an interesting one. They could just be like a Sultai Command the Dreadhorde deck. Sorry, Yarok field versus not. So I'm not certain they're a Field of the Dead deck. Could just be Command the Dreadhorde like value Wildgrowth Walker stuff. How does doubling death triggers combo with Poison Tip Archer? Can you explain? Because I'm not seeing it. Brutal. So there is a card to double the triggers, but I'm not certain how you're saying that combos. Think we're dead, chat. Taking 4 here. Take 1 more draw step here. Yeah, but why is that useful? Middle child syndrome? What problem does my deck have that's being solved by that card? Again, one of the keys to deck building in Magic is there's always so many different cards that could go in a deck, and you shouldn't just add cards to a deck because they're kind of synergistic with what the deck is doing. You want to be problem solution based. You want to say, my deck has a problem with X, and I'm adding Y in an attempt to solve that problem. Woof. Woof. Alright, so let's cut these witch figures and bring in Grasp and a trophy here. I think that's fine. Let's try and draw Risen Reef this game. Can we consider Shared Summons? I think that card's probably too slow. Shared Summons is probably too slow. I feel like Incubation Incongruity is like a more playable version. Being luckier is definitely a solid line. It usually does well for me. We have an early Risen Reef. Sign me up. Even have Paradise Druid here to fix our colors. The bottom of non-black land here, I think. It's nice knowing that I'm going to get to untap with this, almost certainly. Hey, look, the black source I wanted for Christmas. Don't erasure me. Deal. Deal a Reno. Do I want to tap the Paradise Druid? Yeah, I think I'm fine if Paradise Druid dies. Risen Reef is a much higher priority kill target. Ooh. Ooh, a piece of candy. Ooh, a piece of candy. Rise up, my children. Don't fear the Reefer. Don't fear the Reefer. Do 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 do. We're really bad at hitting lands here, but we are not scared of the Reefer. Our opponent might be scared of the Reefer here in a second, though. Did that just happen? Did the Mana Dork deck just Ritual of Soot me? Did the Mana Dork deck just Ritual of Soot me? Everything I know is a lie, chat. Everything I know is a lie. Cuckoo combo. All right, so we're gonna do this. Is Risen Reef better or worse than Rogue Refiner? It's different. The fact that it puts lands into play is a big deal. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pass here, I think. Getting in 1 point of damage and playing this proactively isn't very good. I would like them to play a creature, assuming this is gonna live. Well, this does open me up to the ability to get counterspelled, but I think that's fine. So any way to learn about how to deck build other than just doing it, learning for your fakes? Yeah, you should. The best way to become a better deck builder is to net deck. You should play decks that are built by people who are better at Magic than you are and think about why they make the choices they make and why they're good. That's the best way to get better. Yeah, play exact 75s, and until you have a full understanding of why every card is in that deck, don't make changes. Where are my lands, chat? Good golly. Good lord. That's incredibly unfortunate. Ishmael, thank you for the brand new Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. I mean, yeah, we normally play decks with a little bit more lands than this, but, like, that was really unfortunate. I mean, like, 1 land and, like, 6 cards. All right, so I'm gonna do, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I'm gonna go Leafkin Druid, Cavalier of Night, kill your Yarok. We're gonna deck out. We're not gonna deck out. It's gonna be okay. We actually have the combo now, right? So we can combo them next turn. So if they don't have disruption, we can combo them next turn. I would like to put as many lands into play as possible. I was trying to figure out why Mask Immolation is a red-black aristocrat 75. I found I bordered out every match, then I watched your videos and saw you did the same thing on August 7th stream. What are you missing? So, just because a card frequently gets boarded out does not mean that card isn't good. So, Mask of Immolations in the red-black aristocrats deck is what I would refer to in deck building as a replacement level card. It is a card that is rarely terrible, but it's also rarely very good. So when you are boarding, you are frequently replacing it with cards that are actually good, but game 1, it's just appropriate to have this card that's just like kinda okay everywhere, basically. Huh? So I think I'm getting Paradise Druid here, because if I get if I get something else, we might actually risk decking here. I have to discard 6 cards. There isn't a foil mirror image, unfortunately. Thanks for being here, Shuffler Truther. Alright, if they tap out here, they're dead next turn. We get to combo them. I always love when a meme gets to pop off in the first match. Sweet. So, next turn, we'll go Poison Tip Archer, Cavalier of Night, Mirror Image, combo you. I appreciate you, wife. Alright, so we sacrifice the mirror image, which lets us... I should probably turn on auto stack triggers so we don't time out. So this happens. So we are technically gonna deck out here, but it doesn't matter because our opponent's gonna die this turn. Wait. Oh, do I not have enough? Does this not work? Am I confused? How do I need another mirror image in my hand, don't I? Yeah, but how do I, oh, I kill it with the trigger. No, this only destroys a creature my opponent controls. I have nothing that kills the Cavalier, chat. Oh, this kills the Cavalier. Got it, you're right. Okay, sorry, first time. I understand how this works now. Alright, so we sacrifice this, and then this gets the mirror image back. Alright, okay, so this is destroying something, and then this happens, and then this comes in as this, which then sacrifices this. Okay, so this is it. So there's a lot of clicks here. All right, so yeah, and then we loop from there. So we keep sacrificing them to each other, and they do 1 damage every time they come through. All right, we did it. First time clicking through that, trying to maneuver what's going where. Apologies for fumbling. So if the opponent hadn't conceded, we would have kept doing that, and every loop would have done 1 damage. What are bad matchups for blue-white flyers? Decks that play sweepers, which is why I think the all-in Safara build might be better, because it protects itself from sweepers much, much better. And this is fine. I have 1 question for this deck. Why? Can I respond to your question with why not? A lot of the decks we play on this channel are asking why not so much as why. Most of the time. Alright, would love to hit a land here so we can Cavalier next turn. We are really bad at hitting lands with this thing. I do terrible things for money is definitely an answer. What? What? It's incredibly rude. All right, so do I trophy? They missed a land drop. So, like, I don't really want to trophy them. I think I'm just gonna do this. This lets them mill 4 more cards. Hopefully I don't live to regret that. Getting more creatures into play is good though, because like these Leafkins are +4 mana next turn. Yeah, we're a mid-range deck. We definitely don't have to combo. Blaze! Thank you for the brand new Prime support. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch right now. Thanks for supporting mine this month with that. I don't know. I actually think Ritualist is pretty good against us. All right, so there's things in my graveyard that I want to stay there, so I'm gonna go ahead and trophy this now. I feel like the last couple of days of our odd card choices from our opponents is a window into their souls of which decks have ticked them off recently. Yeah. To be fair, I think Ashiok's like a fine card in this format. It shuts off Scape Shift. And then TGA a week ago. I love watching you play. I love how you explained your moves and why. Well, thanks for keeping me around. Another Ashiok is a little brutal. And like, my deck doesn't, I don't have a Nexus in this configuration, so like, just getting decked out is kind of a real concern here for us. All right, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 15 mana total. No, Ashiok doesn't stop us from searching for their trophy. That is, in fact, not how Ashiok works. Alright, so I'm going to bottom a good card there, because Ashiok's going to mill it otherwise. Yeah, I guess we're just passing here. There's only 22 cards left in my deck here. We're going down to 18 after this Ashiok mills us. Hopefully whatever this board state ends up looking like, this Cavalier will allow us to kill their Ashiok. I think a lot of them. 1, 2... Yeah, 3 of them. So we can't combo anymore, which is unfortunate. Actually, maybe I was supposed to just mirror image a Poison Tip Archer here. I think I was supposed to just mirror image a Poison Tip Archer there. And that was a good 1-2 example of like we comboed in the second game, and then that game we were just like a value mid-range deck, right? How we doing, folks? Welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good night to everybody wherever you're out in the world. Thanks for dropping in here today. If you're a new viewer, my name is Jeff Hoagland. I stream full-time here on Twitch. I'm here playing Magic 30, 40, sometimes even 50 hours a week. If you're someone who enjoys constructed Magic, this is definitely the channel for you. We play a ton of different decks here every day. And you can always know what's going to be coming up later in the stream title by checking out the list of decks there, as well as checking out the deck queue on my website, magicesports.net. As always, love to give a shout out to my wonderful subs. I wouldn't be here day in and day out without their support, so thanks to all of them for keeping me employed. I'd also like to plug a couple of my wonderful sponsors here really quick. The Nerd Rage Gaming Championship Series, a $5,000 cash tournament series that happens every single month in the Midwestern United States. If you can't make it out to the Midwest to play in one of their standard, modern, or legacy tournaments, be sure to check out their streaming coverage as well at twitch.tv/NRG series. BCW Supplies, the only ones I trust to protect my paper trading cards. Using code Jeff10 at bcwsupplies.com. You'd save 10% on sleeves, binders, deck box, and all sorts of other fantastic gaming accessories. Their wonderful Elite Guard 2 sleeves start at just $8 before the discount. Cardsphere.com will help you turn your cards into other cards with other players on their peer-to-peer trading network. There's no haggling, and they just take a 1% fee off the top. And, of course,
don't make your life garbage time. Join us in Hoaglandia today by subscribing to Jeff Hoagland with Twitch Prime today.
Once more under the breach, let's head into our second match with this Sultai Elemental combo deck and see how it goes. I'm excited that we got to piece together our 4-card combo once already in the first match. That's exciting. It's always sad when, like, you queue up with a combo deck and it, like, doesn't do its thing till, like, the 4th or 5th match. I keep this. Afternoon Party Bus CEO. Howdy. Whee! Yep, so we have, for people that are just joining us, we have a 3-card combo of double Mirror Image plus the Black Cavalier, which allows us to kill all of our opponent's creatures. And then if you add Poison Tip Archer in as a 4th card to the combo, you also kill your opponent because every loop on the cycle drains them for a point. Could be Naya Feather that's worked a basic forest into their mana base. Could just be some kind of Naya or Growl Stompy deck-ish deck with a white splash. You have a Land War Elves as well. Poison Tip Archer, also like pretty close to a reasonable card. It's got Reach and Death Touch here. Death Touch notably going to make it very good against Domri's fight ability, because Death Touch does work when 2 creatures fight each other. Mirror Image is sweet in this deck because in addition to when it combos, it's also just like a card that's good to have alongside Risen Reefs and Cavaliers. Like getting more copies of those things is good. So that's really the key to playing like these combo decks that do other things than standard. It's like your deck's great when the combo comes together because you infinite combo and kill them, but it's also fine when you like have not the full combo. I'm not blocking to trade here because they won't trade because Taijik can give himself first strike. Would love to draw any of our Cavaliers here or other things. Risen Reef, Incubation, helping us add a little consistency here. Fight effects with Taijik are sweet. Non-combat damage. So if they play another creature here, Taijik will make sure they don't die to the Poison Tip Archer, because this makes their creatures not take damage from fight effects. It's a really elegant interaction. So next turn, I'm going to have 5, 6, 7 mana. So if this finds an untapped land, I can then play Mirror Image on the Cavalier as well, which is nice. One of the other nice things about Cavalier of Thorns in this combo as well is that while it's not a combo piece, the fact that this is dumping cards into my graveyard means that I can like dump the second Mirror Image with this and not actually have to draw it. If you would like sideboarding suggestions for the Arak Field deck, I'd recommend checking out my article on Cool Stuff Inc. from last week. It includes a full sideboard guide. I think once you understand the basics of like what you should be cutting in specific matchups, it becomes a lot more elegant. Oh, do they think First Strike works with fighting? Oh, sorry, honey. So that's an important interaction for them to learn about their deck. So, for those that are new to the game and don't understand why my opponent's card just died there, so First Strike does not apply when creatures fight, even though Death Touch does, because in the rules of Magic, creatures with First Strike simply deal damage at a different point inside of normal combat. Is how it ends up working, so it does not apply for fights. Well, they will probably never make that mistake again. Alright, so I'm going to send Paradise Druid and Cavalier of Thorns over here at Domri. This is probably going to be a game where we just, like, kill them with 5/6s. If they block Paradise Druid here, we'll Witchfigure the Dreadhorde Arcanist and eat it up. I have a pump spell here. God's willing, sure. I don't really have anything meaningful to flash back here, so that seems fine for us. Turns out 5/6s are hefty boys and girls, yep.
I'll just see myself out then.
Season of Growth, yep. Yeah, Trample is another one of those things that's not super intuitive with how protection works, because you only have to assign what would be lethal damage, which creates a lot of feel-bad moments. I feel like there's a good chance my opponent's decks are a little bit bigger, so these Witchfigures probably aren't... Oh, I guess they had Taijik. Do I want these Disfigures? I feel like this is not a grindy matchup, so I'm going to trim these Hydroid Krasis. Honestly, this deck's probably pretty okay against aggro with 4 Cavalier of Night as the top end for what we're doing. Yeah, Mirror Image doesn't have a foil option, which is sad. Eternal Virus, thank you for the 7 months of support. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. I think I'm trimming at least one Poison Tip Archer here. Then I might just trim some creatures, honestly. Although this makes my Incubation Incongruities a lot less consistent. That's not strictly true. Remember, the thing I'm thinking about is Taijik. Disfigure is also like a combat trick, which is nice. Yeah, I'm going to keep these in because I think I want to keep my creature count a little bit higher. Even 23 is a little bit low. Honestly, I might just split the difference here because my creature count is getting low.
It's a cheesecake cookie.
You bought me a cheesecake cookie. When Christy popped in the chat earlier, she asked if I had eaten already, and I was like, I have, but I'll take dessert from wherever you're going because I'm a fat American. Hi, wife. I love you.
I love you too.
This deck, by the way, the core idea of this deck came from a viewer submission, but I put together all the details on this. So for example, if there's a neat combo you found in Standard that you haven't been able to find the right home for, and you'd like to see what I would put together for it, that's a thing that I offer here on stream, especially for subs. So for a $25 donation, I will build a deck around a card or cards of your choice to be played on stream once it gets to the top of the deck queue. If you already have a shell that you're happy with, deck donations for subscribers are only $10 as well. And as always, you can find out all the details about how the deck queue system works on my website here, bit.ly/HugelSellout for short. This was a deck submission built around the Cavalier Mirror Image Poison Tip Archer combo, obviously. Was the request. You know, the more I play with this, the more I wonder if this deck is actually just very reasonable. Because, like, Cavalier of Night is, like, really great. And, like, being able to grind a little bit with Risen Reef feels sweet. And the combo aspect of this deck kind of lets it go over the top of some of the other things people are doing in Standard. The more these games play out, the more that this feels like it's, like, pretty reasonable. Yeah, I agree. The Cavaliers, I think, are just, like, phenomenal cards overall. Really happy with how they look and work. These two Cavaliers play in tandem together really well, too, because this fills the bin for this to have things to get back, which is awesome. Yeah, I have Legion's End in my sideboard too. So like while we don't have a sweeper in the main deck, we do have ways to clean up zombies post board. Tapped Keg, thank you for the brand new Prime support. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch right now. Thanks for shipping that my way this month and keeping me employed here. Hope you're having a wonderful Tuesday. My power rankings for Cavaliers would be green is first, black is second, blue is third, white is fourth, red is fifth. I think they're all pretty reasonable in general, with maybe the exception of the red one. I think the biggest power differential is probably between the red one and the rest. Modern build-around submissions cost more. Just like modern decks in general cost more. And as always, all the details and all that can be found on my website, Zarper. I think the blue and black Cavaliers are very, very close to each other in power. Or the blue and black ones, yeah, are very, very close to each other in power level. Just for reference too. Like I think the black one's probably a little bit better than blue one, but I think it's absurdly close. Oh, you know what? I should have left Breeding Pool untapped here so I could hit any... I should have left Overgrown Tomb untapped here so I could hit any blue or green or black source to cast this trophy without shocking. Alright, so what am I killing with this shock? Is it just 10? I'm probably just holding this up, actually. I think I'm just going to pass here. Now I'm going to attack for 5. Let's start killing them. Nemesis with the 27 months of support. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. For those who needed a status update on the cheesecake cookie, by the way, it's delicious. 10 out of 10 would consume calories again. Consuming calories is my favorite part about being alive. Oh, it's a Potbelly cookie. For those that would like to purchase their own, it's from Potbellies. This stream is in no way sponsored or endorsed by Potbelly, but Potbelly, if you're out there, it certainly could be. And to answer the other question, it's definitely more cookie than cheesecake, but it's got a good mix. And just to let the record stand so people know where I'm coming from who are new, it's not that I'll take money from anybody. I have standards. Like take Comcast, for instance. Comcast, you can keep your dirty money. I will never take any of it because your service blows. God bless fiber internet. Their ice cream sandwich cookie has over 1,000 calories, and that's what I want. Their ice cream sandwich cookies are real good. Wow, whips and chains, huh? That's unfortunate. Our opponent has been on mono tap. I wonder, I feel like we could do things to help new players along. Like, I really feel like when they added the life gain lands to this format, there should be a pop-up in the deck editor when you add a gate at this point that says like, hey, did you know these other lands exist and are likely better for you and are also common? Little things like that would be nice, I think.
Like the rest of this.
God, you brought... No, put it in the freezer.
I don't like the cookie either.
You don't like the cookie either? Declan likes the cookie. She's trying to fatten me up, chat. She brought me a cookie and she wanted me to finish a shake. I'm already jonesing a little bit. Shake it from the sugar. I have issues. Yeah, I've had issues with the standing desk for a while. Like a few months after I bought it, the electronics in it started going out. And like a third to a half of the time when I push one of my presets, it stops halfway and I have to hit it again. I'm looking to get a standing desk that sits on a table for my classroom. I haven't looked into any of those yet, but they're on my list, Vanu. So I don't have any personal recommendations for those. All right, any green or black source here would be excellent. Green would be great because a green source means we probably find a black source. My opponent's also down to 2 cards, so like if we get these into play, we'll probably stabilize pretty well here. I've had a standing desk which sat on a table and they're generally too small for 2 monitors and a laptop. That's unfortunate. Yeah, I'll definitely, when I get around to like replacing this one, want another big one because the size of this one I have is good. Like I have a 27 221s in my computer tower on my current desk. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the ones that, like, hang them underneath, especially because I have kids, too, who like to come into my office and, like, run under my desk on occasion. It's much easier to keep them out of the things that they could break if it's all above the desk. Hey, there's the green source I wanted for Christmas. Better safe than very sorry. Yeah. Especially because, like, mine is like, if my computer doesn't work, I can't do my job, right? Which is a big deal. Now, there is a non-zero chance this does just die, because, like, my opponent's been sitting on cards here, so I wouldn't be surprised if they have a removal spell. I unfortunately don't currently have a recommendation other than not my current one. Am I dead? Any burn spell or removal spell kills us here now? Yep. I wonder if I'm supposed to play Cavalier of Night there. Yeah, we stumble for like a turn or two too long there. Needed to hit that 5th land a little bit sooner. The fact that they had the fact that the opponent that game had a what's it called? They had a way to kill our Paradise Druid with the Angrath Rampage was a pretty big deal. I mean, not exactly those 3 cards. They needed like a piece of reach, a removal spell, and then some extra damage. I think I could have afforded to play around that, because like my hand was good enough. My hand was like pretty well stacked there if I got to like continue playing Magic. I'm gonna just trim the incubations rather than cut too many of them. Because incubation gets worse the more creatures I trim. Yeah, a lot of standing desks aren't cheap. Like, there's a reason why this uplift that I bought was like the cheapest one you could find on the market. Are you still liking Aristocrats in this standard? Yeah, I think Black-Red Aristocrats is fine. I just decided I'd rather grind a little bit rather than be aggressive. If you asked me to pick my aggro deck of choice in this format, it would definitely be Black-Red Aristocrats. Yeah, I agree, Marty. The Yarok field deck is just so consistent because, like, usually I play a deck enough and I'll, like, stop playing it because eventually you play it enough, you'll hit run bads, but, like, it's just so consistent. Isn't Vampire stronger overall? So, like, saying isn't Vampire stronger than Yarok field is like saying, isn't this apple better tasting than the potato chips? Or like, is cheesecake better than chocolate cake, to keep the food groups the same? Like, you can't do strict direct comparisons to a lot of things. Even that, Marty, like, I think you can't do a strict direct comparison, Marty, to Vampires to Aristocrats. They're just different things. Chocolate cake is trash. Listen. We take serious offense to nonsense statements around here. It's possible that I should Legions end that and hold on to the Disfigure for a Judith, because I could Disfigure Judith, but I can't Legions end a Judith. So there is some thought into my sequencing here on my removal spells. Brutal. How many lanes are in this deck, by the way? Is it 25? I think it's 25 plus mana creatures. Or is it only 24? It's 25 plus mana creatures. It's a rough beat. Especially considering, like, we're choked on green mana at the moment, and we've, like, drawn running. Ugh. Rough. That's fine. Magic the Gathering happens sometimes. Sometimes you play Magic, other times Magic plays you. Opponent's flooding out here a little bit. If this last card's not a spell. Alright, that's not a green source at least, but it does let us cast this, so glass half full. That's good to know, Boxman. When Christy and I were in Chicago last time we went to IKEA, and I saw those, they seemed okay. 63 inches is a good size. I think that's about the size of the one I have right now. This is, it's a weird card. It's awkward that, like, all the Cavaliers I have in my hand right now are green. But, like, I have a bunch of black Cavaliers. Good lord, come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. The good news is we have a parade of Cavaliers here. Yeah, it's pro-green, so it's not pro-black. So I have a bunch of black Cavaliers in my deck. Like that one. Huh. What do I want to do here? I think I want to do this. And grab an untapped land here. And then I can do this. Shocking hurts a little bit there, but like I put 10 more power into play, so that seems pretty good. Mirror Image didn't make the meow sound. That was Buddy over here. So this gives them double Judith triggers. That's not really a big deal. Alright, so they're obligated to chump block here. This lets them deal 4, putting me to 5. But I'm gonna get to put this black Cavalier into play, which lets me lifelink. So we're less dead to heroic reinforcements. Obviously they could have a deal 3 in their hand. So I'm gonna sacrifice the one that Oh, I should have scryed before doing that. Whatever. So we stumbled a little bit again this game, but we were on the play, so we might be okay. If we're not dead here, we should be in a great spot. If we're not dead here, there's a good chance they're dead next turn. Yeah. Sweet. A little bit of magic happened and still managed to pull things out. I'm gonna go ahead and just keep it how it is, I think. I think we'll probably play one more match with this after this one. It's been a pretty good set. I think I'm going to tag this one as the deck of the day. New combo decks are always sweet. This one feels more than reasonable. Yeah, that sounds great, right? I've got all my colors. I've got a Scryland. I've got a Disfigure. Awesome, Izia. Glad to hear you're progressing. I just put this into play tapped rather than hurt myself. Like, my next turn will probably be Temple of Mysteries plus Witchfigure or something. Like, what's their best play here? Like a Dreadhorde Butcher, and if the Dreadhorde Butcher turns into a 2-2, Disfigure still kills that elegantly, so seems fine. Cavalier of Thorns a good pickup, something great to mirror image down the line. Wow, no play there. It's absurd for us. Especially considering they had an untapped land too. Sweet, that's our 5th land. There's another removal spell here. I bet we'll, hopefully they play Judy this turn and we get to, like, trade 1 mana for their 3. Good solid tempo swing. Then the next turn we'll get to, like, play tapped land, hold up Assassin's Trophy. And then curve into, tip Archer into Cavalier of Thorns. Alright, so they must have drawn... I wonder if they have a removal spell they wanted to hold up there. Disfigure is so good. If you're playing a black deck in this format, you probably want 3 Disfigures at a minimum in the 75. Well, I guess Vampires doesn't usually play that card. So let me rephrase. If you're playing a mid-range or controlling black deck, you probably want 3 Disfigures in the 75. Sure. I think I'm supposed to trophy this. This makes any future Judiths or whatever they have kind of scary. Or also makes like heroic reinforcements a lot better. And the other upside to just killing this now, while it's not super threatening on its own, if you look at my hand, my mana is tied up for the next 2 turns, right? Like, this is my turn 4, this is my turn 5. So if I don't use this Assassin's Trophy here, I'm not playing it at a minimum until, like, turn 6, most likely. So I'd rather just, like, use my mana now. Yeah, I agree, Marty. The mana efficiency from Disfigure often ends up equating to 2 or more life, especially when one of the creatures you want to kill in the aggro decks is a 1/2 that gains a 3rd point of toughness regularly. So being able to do that sooner is a really big deal. Sweet, that's a land that doesn't hurt us. So not really looking for more lands at this point, but it lets us cast the Cavalier without taking 2, so that's, like, not terrible. Since we already got triple green in play here. Scale of 1 to dead. Where's this Archer at? Deal. I have to imagine that, like, we are like incredibly favored as this game goes along on average. Scry me a river, baby. Just as good as drawing a card, chat. Just as good as drawing a card. If they play a creature this turn, we can actually mirror image the Cavalier of Thorns and then Cavalier of Night sack this killer creature, which is pretty sweet. Although I suppose that gets blown out if they have a removal spell in response to this, so maybe that's a little bit too aggressive. I don't think we're quite at garbage time yet. I definitely think there's a reality where we, like, flood out a little bit and our opponent can get back in this, but... I'm going to just attack here to start, I think. See what happens. It's pausing like they could have a spell. So I think I'm just going to play the Cavalier Knight rather than trying to mirror image this. Because, like, if I cast the mirror image and they kill this in response, it's just, like, not a good scene for me. I think that's a way we could end up getting behind. And this Cavalier of Thorns has another Cavalier of Thorns to put on top of my deck, so that sounds like a fine exchange. Yeah, Heroic Reinforcements is a very individually powerful card, that's for sure. Zombie Menace, thank you for the very generous tier 2 sub. My tier 2 subs support me a little bit extra, so be sure to take a peek at my deck queue and let me know if there's a deck in there you'd like to bump up and see a little bit sooner. People that keep me employed here get to dictate what we play and when we play it. Seems only fair. And like, I don't know how their aggro deck just like ever beats a 4/5 lifelinker. You put Poison Arrow up, that's the combo. No, you need a second mirror image. Which we did just find a second mirror image here, so, you know. So, I actually have the loop set up at this point. I just don't have a way to kill them while I do it. I think I'm actually just declining here. It's like, I don't know how they beat 2, 4, 5 lifelinkers. Here's my mythics, go. And again, I think most of the games with a deck like this are going to be won without comboing. Which is why I was excited to get to combo in the first game that we played. But I think a lot of these games that you're going to play with this deck are going to be won in a fashion like this, just like beating them down with Cavalier. How does the loop work? So, the loop with Cavalier of Night and then 2 mirror images, basically, the mirror image, Cavalier can get back another mirror image, which then becomes a Cavalier again. So, how it ends up working out is you can just keep sacrificing Cavaliers to each other to destroy every creature they have in play. And then if you have Poison Tip Archer in play while that's going on, every time you do that, they lose 1 point of life. And if you didn't catch it earlier, this will go up on YouTube and my website, just like everything else. You'll see a game where we get to assemble the loop and kill the opponent. Yeah, Marty. So we're built around that idea. And then, like, again, a lot of these cards are just, like, reasonable cards. Like, we had a game where, like, we just, like, played a Risen Reef and then, like, mirror imaged it a bunch and drew a bunch of cards in one. Yeah, there isn't a borderless mirror image. It's a complete and total travesty. Alright, once more Under the Breach, shall we? This hand is excellent. Like, really good. Yeah, actually, you're right. The game where we mirror imaged a bunch of the Reefs, the one where we managed to combo. Maybe I'm supposed to take Paradise Druid there, since it's a mana dork that doesn't get interacted with. That could be right. Like, if this dies, I'm pretty sad here. Deal. Untapped land, untapped land, untapped land. Man, I'm just supposed to disfigure this, aren't I? That's unfortunate. Yeah, and if I, like, would have taken Paradise Druid here, I could have cast Paradise Druid this turn. I think this was a mistake. For a few different reasons, I think this was a mistake. Although I am most of the way to the combo here at this point, so that's nice. Land. So I'm gonna decline, and again I'm declining because I don't have a land to play for the turn. So we'll play this land out because this represents a Disfigure. Like, they're not likely to play around it, but it's worth doing that just in case, you know? Might impact their decision. Yep. On a scale of 1 to dead, it feels like we are sliding firmly towards the dead side of the scale. Please kill my Leafkin Druid. Don't kill both of them, please. Just the Leafkin. No. Oh, you're a monster. monster. Alright, if we draw a land for the turn and then put a land into play, or we could draw a witch figure. Alright. So you're saying there's a chance. Oh, we're halfway there. Oh, should have taken a Paradise Druid rather than this poison tip archer. Oh, do. Slime gets blown up by mutagenic growth. Get out of here. All right, there's a land. Let's do this and get another land, and then Cavalier of Night this feather maybe. If the gods will it, my opponent can't lose this game, but hopefully that's not the case. We're also like pretty hosed by the deal 4 Reckless Rage. I think the gods have decided my opponent gets to win. I guess if my opponent can't assemble too much damage here, I have the combo in my hand, huh? I just need like a couple of turns to fully assemble it. I assume we're gonna die before that happens, but, you know, there's a chance, that's all I'm saying. Take a chance on me. Do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Red Rover, let Feather come over. Land would be great. Untapped land would be better. Spell would be terrible. Alright, I think this is the line. I just have to hit land. They have a removal spell I'm going to concede. Okay. Brutal. Hey, what's going on, Jin? It does come in as a non-foil copy. I apologize to everybody who's offended. Yeah, we're pretty dead here, right? Let's go to the next one where we can hopefully not stumble. And more importantly, have a little bit more removal in our deck. We're definitely on the kill all the things plan in this matchup. Cast down, Legion's and Noxious Grasp. Trophy. I think Incubation actually comes out here. Like, I know it's like a clunky removal spell. Maybe I'm supposed to leave in some of them because it's just a clunky removal spell. I could see that. Of course, I already have a lot of things that I need to cut here, and like I feel like most of my cuts are going to be creatures. Does anybody think we're ever... Like, comboing seems pretty unlikely in this matchup, right? Does that seem like a true statement? Comboing seems unlikely. I could just, like, trim Paradise Druid. And I probably want Paradise Druid for the fixing. Is that true? No, I got plenty of black mana, right? So it's 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Yeah, and even the image isn't terrible, right? Just, like, having these in play. Yeah, I think we're basically just, like, green-black control, kind of. Like, green-black splash these. Okay, let's give this a try. Even image, I agree, image isn't great, but it's, like, still pretty okay a lot of the time. Yeah, seems fine. In. That's like exactly what this hand needed. Nice early play. We'd love to see like Risen Reef as the next card we rip. Gives us a nice juicy Legion's End target. If they like, tap out for a 3-drop or even another 2-drop next turn, we can drop the Cavalier like it's hot. Sacrifice the Leafkin Druid. And we know the contents of their hand here, so we know they have a God's Willing. I think I just Cavalier here. Just like force the issue on the God's Willing. The fact that Legion's End lets us see their hand too is just like so good. Now the downside here is if they have another creature, they can Reckless Rage twice and kill this Cavalier. Because they can Reckless Rage, flashback Reckless Rage. Like, Feather is a worst case scenario here. Because they like Reckless Rage, Feather, flashback, Reckless... Oh, that doesn't work, honey. Oh, this is getting God's Willing back. Okay. Yeah, I guess that works too. Yeah, I guess this is better. Yeah, I like their line better than what I was thinking of. Because my line would kill my thing right away, but this gets them back God's Willing, lets them flash it back. So pretty punished for like proactively trying to make them God's Willing. Yeah, that works out, right? Okay, so we do this. They God's Willing. And then I attack them for 4. We lifelink. We play Mirror Image. We sack this. We kill this. Oh, I didn't even notice that. The stack is having a time over here. It's unfortunate we don't have anything better to get back out of our graveyard with this other Cavalier. But this is what it is. So they still have a God's Willing in their hand here, but at least their Feather's no longer in play. This matchup seems like it's probably pretty hard. Feather tends to be really good against mid-range decks that have minimal removal. Oh, this is... Oh, they have a Lava Coil. I was like, this is not going to work out for you, but it does because they have Lava Coil. That's unfortunate. If they couldn't exile that, it just gets itself back, which is really powerful. Or are they using God's Willing here? This seems like a really loose use of God's Willing. Like we're basically trading God's Willing for... I guess this could be a Feather. If this is a Feather, they get to flashback the God's Willing and keep it next turn. Like this being Feather is the only thing that makes sense here, right? Oh, I should have scryed. I'm gonna scry and see a removal spell and hate myself. Just a Leafkin. Okay, I guess Leafkin would have been better there too, right? Because I would have drawn it and then triggered Risen Reef again. So yeah, definitely should have dropped this Temple of Mystery beforehand. If this isn't a Feather, their line last turn was really bad. Oh yeah, that's true, Demonger. It wouldn't have been another night, because I didn't have a Cavalier in play anymore. That's fair. Unfortunate. Yeah, definitely Coast left. And then just do me a flavor and remind me what tier sub it's for. Cavalier of Night getting Risen Reef back is fantastic. Yeah, I agree, Black Sheep. I think this deck seems sweet. And again, like, when you're brewing decks, even with kind of a neat, novel idea like this one does, you just want to, like, ask yourself, like, how playable is the average card in this deck? And if you look at the cards we're playing here, outside of these two, everything in this deck is constructed playable in something else. And, like, even these clone style effects have seen some play alongside Risen Reef and these. So, like, the only, like, somewhat questionable card is this one. And this one has a relevant stat line a lot of the time. The Death Touch and Reach is just, like, superb. I think I'm happy with how we boarded. You need 2 Mirror Images, a Black Cavalier, and an Archer. If you have just a Cavalier and 2 images, you get to kill all their creatures. If you have, this hand's not great against Feather, but it's good against the rest of their crap. Yeah, I'm in for that. I've got Risen Reef here. Hopefully there's not a bunch of non-Feather threats here. So because I have 2 Legion's End, I'm going to lead on this one. This is also a sorcery. And I'd like to see their hand here, which is nice. It's a super aggressive Feather Jam. Yeah, Reach is very good in this format. I agree. Really wanted to hit a land there. Don't you always want to hit a land, basically? Almost always. Just getting their scry on, yep. Top! That's scary. You see Vanguard come down here, I assume. Then they get their God's Blowing back to their hand. Prepbridge Farm Forever. Thank you for the brand new tier 1 sub. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. Hope you're having a wonderful Tuesday wherever you are. Sent you 4 color elementals list on the Google form, and I'm good to donate. Probably, but not yet. I'll send you an email when I take a peek at the deck that you submitted. So I unfortunately did not get a chance to respond to deck submissions yesterday, so I'll be doing that this evening. In fact, this is our last league, and one of the things I do after I finish will be sending out emails. Brutal. We hit a bit of a snag with the stream room, unfortunately. It's gonna get done eventually, but it's not gonna be done soon, I don't think. So have to take 6 here. Definitely want to block here. So I get to do this. I think we just do this. Alright, here's hoping they don't have another God's Willing. If they do, we're very dead. I'm gonna play one more. I feel like this matchup's probably hard and our opponent drew pretty well. So let's try one more time here. Yeah, I'm enjoying what this deck is doing. Would Legion's End and then Cast Down on Feather be a good play? It would be a good play, but it would not be a legal play. So I'm gonna decline to take it. Unfortunately, we didn't draw any Assassin's Trophies there. Like, if we would have had Trophy or Noxious when they jammed Feather on 3, like, they'd probably just lose that game straight up. Yeah, good game, Steam Flugger. Good luck in the rest of your set. I think if we would have had an answer to Feather when they jammed it, I think that game wouldn't have been very close. So I have to decide, do I want to bottom the Swamp or the Overgrown Tomb? The Swamp's a painless black source, but having triple green is appealing. I think I'm going to bottom the Swamp and probably go turn 1 tapped on this, and then plan to like go tapped line with this figure on 2 potentially. This does screw me up a little bit if I draw a mana creature, but not too much. Yep, yeah, I agree, Steam Flugger. I'm not saying your play was wrong, I'm just saying, like, had that worked out that way, the game just ends up very different. There's definitely hands where you just, like, have to jam with it. Alright, our deck's got 4 copies of Cavalier of Night. Let's find him. No, yeah, I definitely agree with your assessment that there's games where it's like, there's nothing you can do, and you just gotta, like, head to the Space Jam. Sulfur Falls. Probably some kind of Wizard's Brew. That's good. Means we probably don't have to worry about Goblin Chain Whirler. Poor Whirly Boy messes up Risen Reef. Land. Alright, hopefully this can find a mana creature. Perfect. Thanks for the great content. Figured I should step out of the shadows and throw a few bucks your way. Well, welcome to the chat. And new subs, be sure to pop it into the subscriber Discord server as well if you want a place to chat about Magic when I'm not streaming as well. Have a scotch of moderation there, which is nice compared to a lot of other places that you'll find online. Bottom a land. Every time I bottom a land with the Scry land, it's just like, God, this is just like as good as drawing a card. Just like it's so good. Alright, so I think we trophy this, play Poison Tip, smack them for 5. I mean, the opponent stumbled on lands, and they like, I killed their first aggressive play. The fact that I was like able to kill their 1-drop with a Disfigure meant that like their spectacle cards ended up being a lot worse. It could be a Visit deck. This is also a wizard, right? So like could be like an Azistal deck or whatever that card is called. Probably gonna be another matchup where like the fact that I have a bunch of reach idiots is very relevant. Now, at this point, this Leafkin Druid doesn't really do anything for us, so I'm gonna hang out with this Leafkin Druid in my hand until we draw Risen Reef, because this kid can trip later if we play it while there's a Reef in play. That's true. I mean, that's not strictly true. It's true in a lot of situations, but if you have, like, Shock or Wizard's Lightning, you can, like, upstairs pre-combat and then Skewer as well pre-combat. But I agree with your general sentiment that they're not stellar together. Opponent had a disconnect, maybe? What is going on? So I'm supposed to play Poison Tip first and then Trophy for 1 point of damage. Yep, 1000%. This card triggers on both players' creatures. Yes, it does. I appreciate you pointing that out, Lost Axiom. Good catch. Yeah, I mean, like, I already have a Leafkin Druid in play, though. Man, are we 2 for 1-ing my Cavalier? And letting me put Risen Reef back on top of my deck? I would love to draw Risen Reef next turn. Cavalier dying and putting Incubation back on top of our deck is also great. Sweet. And this makes this make 2 mana, so I can play this one as well this turn. Was that a good turn? Feels above average. Feels above average. It's like not bad, not JPG. What if my mana creature drew a card? What if my mana creature and Elvish Visionary had a baby? Regardless of if you pay 2 life, your shock land comes into play tapped. And honestly, that's another one of those user interface things where I feel like the user interface should tell the person, like, hey, this is gonna happen. Like, it should be like, you can pay 2, but it's still coming into play tapped, buddy. Like, it should say that there to prevent some feel-bad moments. Alright, so I'm bringing in the cast downs and the trophies. I think I want I think I want the Krasis in this matchup. Incubation is kind of what I refer to as a replacement level card, so I think that's the one I want to cut here. It's like fine at helping assemble us our combo, but like if I trim creatures post board, this becomes worse, and this isn't a matchup where the Incongruity text box is very good. So like, generally speaking, this card's gonna get replaced by something else that's better post board. I feel like I don't want Legion's End in this matchup. My opponent's deck has probably has 3-drops and what's it called in it? Like the 1s and 2s I expect them to have are like G2 Lava Runner and Vanisho Pyromancer, and I don't think those are enough to bring in Legion's End. We might reassess this card going into game 3 if they show us a bunch of 1s and 2s, but for now I'm gonna leave it out. Hey Spenzor, thanks for re-upping for the 2nd month in a row. I appreciate the continued support. Welcome back. Happy Tuesday. They could have Siren Storm Tamer, that's true. So another potential 1 or 2 drop. No, there could be a reason that you want to make your life total go lower, so technically they should offer you the choice, because you have the choice to do it within the rules of Magic, but generally speaking, you never want to do it. It's very corner case situations where that would be relevant. Stormkin is a wizard, that's true. Maybe they do have enough for Legion then to be good. My opponent's deck also had the 4-mana 1/5 in it though, which makes me think their deck might be a little bit bigger overall, as opposed to all low-cost creatures. So, like I said, they're a bit of a brew, so I'm gonna be a little bit conservative when sideboarding to like try and minimize my chance of having dead cards in my hand. Creepy, thanks for the 3 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Is MTG my main game? It is. I am here usually a minimum of 35 hours per week. Sometimes I have things come up, but generally speaking, I aim to be here 7 hours a day, 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. I do a little bit of Magic's older formats to kick the day off, starting about 7 a.m. Central on Magic Online. Usually we play a lot of Modern here in the mornings, and then we do a bunch of Standard in the late morning and afternoon. And then around set release times, I usually amp things up a little bit. If you are new here, I'd encourage you to take a couple minutes and poke around my website too. There's a lot of great content on there. Pretty much everything I stream gets cut up and archived by deck. So it's really easy to find the stuff you care about and skip over the stuff you don't if you miss a day. Which Teferi is that countdown for? It's for Teferi, Hero of Hearthstone. Teferi, Hero of Hearthstone doesn't rotate till next fall. I actually don't mind the Hero of Dominaria. I think he's fine. I think he's powerful, but he's just powerful. He's not just like fundamentally breaking the rules of the game annoying. This hand's close. Like, the spells are good. I have all my colors. I could maybe justify this because I have a Scryland. I don't know exactly how aggressive their deck is. Like, I wouldn't keep this hand against mono red, but I feel like there's a chance their deck isn't quite as low as mono red. Yeah, Big Teferi's gonna rotate in October. Zombie Menace with the $10 tip. Thanks for the support. I appreciate it. Love the content and finally catching part of the stream. Sadly, I can't watch at home because I live in a cabin without internet, but I watch a lot of your YouTube content offline and love it. Keep up the amazing content and the work. I appreciate the compliment and the tip, Zombie. Happy Tuesday. Yeah, Big Teferi's rotating. I'd prefer, if I could take another year of Big Teferi and have Little Teferi rotate sooner, I would do that in a heartbeat. Little Teferi, to me, attacks. It removes the parts of the game that I really enjoy. It like in my opinion, the most interesting parts about Magic are the stack interaction and things like that. Well, alright, well, this was going to be the last one, but I kind of want to play a full match. Not even just counter spells, but just like the use of the stack in general. Like the play and counter play. Yes, we are not playing Land War Elves in this deck, so this deck has pretty strict mana requirements for colors. This article here will give you a loose definitions of what your mana should look like based on the spells that you want to cast. And because we have both triple black and triple green cards, I'm erring on the side of Paradise Druid as our extra mana dorks. We're also playing Leafkin Druid because this is notably an elemental that works with Risen Reef, which is nice. Hey, Kennex, thanks for the biddies. Frilled Mystic isn't particularly playable, but that card is kind of my spirit animal. I love decks like that. Huh. So... I think I'm going to lean on Watery Grave here. Because if they're a Vampires deck, I want to go tap land Disfigure on 2, I think. If they're Esper, I feel a little bit bad about this. But, like, I have plenty of untapped lands anyway, so I think this is fine. I think you should always lead on Paradise Druid on 2 over Leafkin. Not only because this can't be killed, but if we play this post, what's his name? Post Risen Reef, it's nice for us.
I'll protect you.
Where is there a problem with my deck? If I send you an email saying your deck's okay, that's when you send in the donation with a link to the deck list. And if you already sent in a donation and maybe forgot to attach the... If you did a donation and maybe forgot to attach the link with it, send me a message and let me know where you sent the donation from and we can get it taken care of. But I do occasionally miss things, especially if there wasn't a deck linked in the donation comment. I wonder how this matches up against Esper. Mirror Image. Mirror Image is pretty bad here. Disfigure's also kind of bad if they're not playing hero. It might have been a little aggressive to trophy this just because this isn't a sustained source of card advantage. Like, they play 5 mana Teferi here, I'm going to be pretty sad. I think there's anything other than Teferi keeping Frilled Mystic out of the format. I don't know. I think we played Sultai Flash somewhat recently, and I think that deck's pretty greasable. I think it's better than the blue-green Flash to set a low bar. Alright, sweet. Just do me a favor and respond to my email, Malv, and let me know what day you cheered the bits, and I can go back and look it up. Just say, hey, I cheered these bits preemptively on X day, and I should be able to access a log that tells me what happened when.
That's more like it.
You know, I wonder, what's his name, Trax, one of the subs here, has been playing a little bit of Bant Bow on his stream, and I bet that deck's probably pretty reasonable. Deputy Detention's a really good card right now, between both Vampires and, I don't think I want to trophy this just yet. I'm going to be really sad if they draw a Thought Erasure, though.
Oh, I've done the hero thing before.
That's a much better card to Assassin Trophy. So, like, while this is going to draw one or two more cards here, maybe, Search for Azcanta provides a sustained source of card advantage, and that's what I want to prioritize killing with my trophies. Well, this is like a small amount of card advantage in the interim. Like, this is a lot of card advantage in the long term. Did they not get a second basic? So this is their only basic. That's good to know.
Here goes nothing.
Joke's on you, opponent. I don't have any good spells in my hand. Oh, they have a basic planes too. Okay. They had a basic planes in their hand. That makes sense. As always, the question to will Jeff play X deck should always be answered by submitting the form on my website. I don't say yes or no to deck list by just like having an archetype thrown at me. I'm always prefer to see the details first. I mean, if we hit a Risen Reef, we get to go like Reef, Mirror Image the Reef, and like draw 3 cards. That would be nice. We're getting Thought Erasure again. Vomit. Haha, joke's on you. Still no good spells. You're not wrong, Marty. I mean, this deck is probably worse than Yarok Field. It's definitely worse than Yarok Field against Esper. I don't know if it's worse than Yarok Field against necessarily a diverse field. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if this deck's a bit better against Vampires, just because it gets to play 4 Cavalier of Night. Although I guess Yarok himself isn't that different than Cavalier of Night.
Sorry, I'm late.
Yeah, definitely, Niv. I don't know, I accept a pretty wide range of things. Modern, I've become a bit more selective because brews in Modern have been really rough of the late. Alright, which figure's pretty bad here? Definitely want Trophy and Noxious Grasp. Hey, Monster, thanks for the 14 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. I think I want to trim a Mirror Image here. just because it tends to not be great in the face of removal. Although maybe I just like trim the Paradise Druids, just like cut down on the mana creatures. Yeah, I think that's it actually. Let's just cut the Paradise Druids. It's like, if I get Mirror Image with Risen Reef going, that's pretty good. I guess Stroke is pretty reasonable too. Yeah, I could buy that for $1. I want Stroke in this matchup. You know, like cut 1 and 1 and bring these in. Yeah, let's do that. Tags Kaya's Wrath and Big Teferi. When do you board an Ego? You pretty much only board an Ego against Nexus of Fate and Field of Ruin. Or Field of the Dead. Sorry. Let's get card names correct. In. So, my hand's kind of mediocre. Yeah, duress me, daddy. Puppy. I think I'm actually gonna wait to play this Leafkin Druid because I'm not really accelerating into anything, and I would like to have it trigger Risen Reef in a perfect world, I think. Although the Cavalier of Thorns is a little bit punishing for that, because like they're gonna kill this Risen Reef and then I can't Cavalier next turn now, so like 6 in one hand, half dozen in the other. Yeah, a little bit punished. I suppose there's also the argument that like if I play the Leafkin, they might burn the removal spell on it, and then like they've spent a removal spell there instead of on something better. Scrying lands to the bottom is as good as drawing a spell. You're just like, yep. Alright, there's a blue source.
Let's slow this down. Trust me, I have a plan.
Yeah, Cavalier's a lot less scary for my opponent in this matchup, but it's like not fine to be Fields of the Dead. The good news is if they kill this Cavalier, I get to redraw that Risen Reef and then like go Reef Leafkin Druid and hit a couple of cards that way, which is nice. This is a 5 mana Teferi. We're gonna tuck this in. Do we have a removal spell?
I'll show you straight. Reverse.
So this is one of those sustained source of card advantage we've been talking about. Draws them a second card every single turn, so let's go ahead and kill that. Play this Poison Tip Archer. Again, just gonna hold on to these Leafkin Druids for now because they're not really ramping us into anything. And should I find a Risen Reef, they can draw some cards.
I've got time.
Brutal. If this isn't a good spell, we're probably dead to rights. If this isn't a good spell and they don't have Thought Erasure. Alright. Good spell summon to the top. What are we, if we're a real streamer, we're supposed to say like Pog there or something? Is that how the kids meme? Can somebody tell me if that is memeing correctly? We're supposed to say like PogChamp there or something. Yeet it over there. Listen, chat, I have 2 children. I don't know how to PogChamp. You gotta dab. And I'm not gonna dab on screen, but I'm sure there's plenty of people in chat who haven't seen this GIF before, so. This GIF is great without context. It's just the best. Hey, Delta. Thank you for the 8 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Alright, so I think I just want to send both of these here. So that way they don't get to keep him through a removal spell. What did I just watch? Listen, Hooglandia has a long and storied past. Playing this might be wrong. If they have Kaya's Wrath here, I'm gonna be really sad. Kachik, thank you for the brand new Prime support. I appreciate you shipping your Bezo bucks this way this month. Thanks for keeping me employed. Well, so okay, so this is let's highlight a mistake by my opponent. So you should always kill Cavalier of Thorns in response to its enter the battlefield trigger. Because if you kill it in response to the enter the battlefield trigger, the thing it would put back on top of the deck gets milled by the enter the battlefield trigger. So if my opponent had timed that Kaya's Wrath correctly, we would have been denied this Risen Reef. Now, it looks like my opponent just has like an embarrassment of riches, so like it probably doesn't matter, but that is an important thing. This is a card that could drag us back into the game because it turns these bricks into potential life draws.
I require servants. Your corpse will volunteer.
That's true. If they're putting a Field of the Dead back on top, you should wait. If they're going to be getting a spell, you should jam. You should do it in response. One of your finest Assassin's trophies, please. As unfortunately a Planeswalker that I cannot Noxious Grasp. How many trophies am I through? One, just one? Okay. There's another one I can't Noxious Grasp. Rude.
I know 88 ways to defeat you. Meditate and prepare.
What are the odds that I don't have a removal spell? Like 40 cards? Cast down, yep. Poor little Reefer. Alright, so we're hoping for a trophy. We're hoping for second Risen Reef, so we can mirror image the Risen Reef. There's only been one Reef and one trophy in the top half of our deck. It's a little tough. I got really excited for a second, and then I remembered this card was on the other side of the table. I got really excited for like half a second there. I almost piped up, and then I sank back into my chair. All right, so we hit the 4-2. I think this deck was super reasonable overall. We only got to combo once, but again, I think the combo rate with this deck is going to be pretty low because it's got a lot of moving parts. For those that joined us partway into the stream, the combo in this deck is you get Cavalier of Night in play, and then you get 2 mirror images, and your mirror images copy Cavalier of Night while sacrificing each other to keep coming back, and you can destroy every creature your opponent has in play. And while you're doing this loop, sacrificing your stuff to destroy their stuff, if you have a poison tip archer out, you also drain them for a life every time something is dying in that cycle. So a lot of the games we won in that set were just like mid-range games. And honestly, thinking about what's actually good in the mid-range and control matchups, how many different lands do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There might be a chance that I just want to like mess up my mana base a little bit and then like cut these for 2 copies of Field of the Dead. There's probably a non-zero chance that these should just be Field of the Dead, because Field of the Dead doesn't get hosed by Narset, and it's good in the control matchup. At any rate, that's going to be it for me for today, folks. I appreciate everybody hanging out. Remember, I'll be back tomorrow morning about 7 a.m. Central Standard Time. If you're looking for more content from yours truly, you can always find some more at my website and my YouTube channel, magicesports.net and youtube.com/Jeff Hoagland. You prefer to hang out here on Twitch, I'm going to find someone else streaming some Standard really quick here to give a host to.